Kani kadai ka Batisi TV, bat pidang pet ya ka kubor baman kasni, belawan rasha pi da ka rupa, ringkat bat ka orange Nissan, lom sopo near Fire Brigade Shillong.
New Nissan Kicks. Bookings open now.
Tang hadin kendet kenta balakot ki kenta pakhang snong jong ka neso kata ha ka shpo trek mentau banai nopra harja kat khandai ka kanhon menteri jong ka sarkar Meghalaya Democratic Alliance ha ka porjan met kala shong je lang karke banyatai bat jemer jemot halor ka jingmanjor ka yeng darbar jong ka Lok Sabha ya ka Citizenship Amendment Bill 2019 halor ka ne ka raj jong ka sarkar pleng ban pelong an ya ka CAB ha bakaran ha kinong pathai ko bor hadin ka jelang ka kanhon menteri Menteri Rangba kani kejela Konrad Kongkal Sangma ulaong hakapor badang wanra ya ka CAB 2016 halok sabha hakipor manchwa kidang dan bon kijing duna hakani ka bel banyada ki jai benri red pa hakani ka than jati lamingi Henry Hadien bala manjor pat da Raja Sabha ladan bon kijing penkelai ki kendon hakani ka bel latan sat ya bon ki kendon banyada karpang ya ki jai benri riulom jong ki jela kani ka than jati lamingi Kawai pat kabenta kabaka sarkar MDA kalapan pau ka jingkerman ba ka jingtrekam jang ka CAB kan kta hakis number 1 ya kani gejela namar baka sarkar pedeng kala kranshai baki mender ki ban salong kom ki nong songnang bapura jang kari India kindai beteng tang ki tu ki bawan haswa usnam araja khatsau komta ka jingyo ya ka hok ban long nong songnang bapura hakani kari ya ki tu ki bawan hadien usnam araja khatsau kan amdan satya namar ba haswa baka sarkar pedeng kan pedangi kita ki breru Yakum kita kibreo on Pantikanaro daki sarkar jalla.
We have been opposing the CAB since last year. And if you recall, last year when this was brought in the form that was brought last year, we were concerned about issues that were related to how infiltration might take place in the future and how this bill would ultimately lead to a lot of Hindu Bangladeshis coming into our state and to the northeast region in the country as a whole. So one of the major issues that we faced and we were concerned about really at that point in time when the bill was being passed in a very, very fast manner was really the future of the region and the infiltration that could possibly take place because of an act like this or an amendment like this coming in. This particular issue is an issue that is even now a big concern among the people. And a lot of people are worried that the CAB will pave the way for a lot of infiltrators or illegal immigrants or Bangladeshis, Hindu Bangladeshis to come in. Once these amendments were made, I think it was made amply clear by the Home Ministry and the Home Minister himself in a number of discussions that took place that the cutoff date is 2014, which means that there is no question of any future impact of any kind of demographic change in the region, which means that the fear that people will continue to come into the region does not arise by the fact that this cutoff date has been put in and it has been made amply clear that only applications and cases before 2014 are going to be addressed in this particular amendment CAB, and so there I think a lot of our concerns were addressed to a large extent. Second, we had stressed on the fact, and this is after a lot of consultation with everybody, is that we were concerned about the fact that how states like Meghalaya and the rest of the tribal states can be insulated. And earlier, if you recall, there were no provisions at all in the bill to have any kind of specific, insulation for the tribal states and the states in the northeast in general. And that was a big concern for us. Once the amendment bill again was redrafted, many provisions were inserted in it. Many points were inserted in it, including areas which mentioned that were under ILP, areas under the 6th schedule, the fact that any kind of application that will come in will be something that will have to be approved by the state government, by the Deputy Commissioner first, and only then can it go further to the Government of India. So I think all these aspects and facts were not there earlier. And when we had met the Honorable Home Minister the first time as a delegation from Meghalaya, all these factors were not there. And that is the reason why, not knowing what the government had in mind, we were very clear on our stand that we are opposed to the bill the way it was put in 2016, I'm sorry, and the way it was tried to be passed in 2018 in the Rajya Sabha, 2019 in the Rajya Sabha. And this was the scenario then. Once these provisions were put in, we have felt that the government has taken the concerns of the Northeast seriously. They have put in all these provisions that are there that are going to insulate to a large extent, a large part of the Northeast and many states, to a large extent in the Northeast as a whole. So keeping these factors in mind, we feel that government has done its part in addressing a lot of concerns. In that line, yes, Agatha has supported, but we have been very, very clear that we want more provisions to ensure that more insulation is done, did not be done along with this bill. But there are many ways in which Government of India can give more protection to the people of Meghalaya and the Northeast as a whole. And after discussing with our cabinet colleagues and everybody, we have decided that we will approach Government of India, we will approach the Governor, number one, to clear the Meghalaya Resident Safety Act at the earliest, and at the same time, as a cabinet, we have decided to go and strongly meet the Honorable Home Minister and apprise him of the situation and urge on him that more strong measures in different forms that may be available in different states needs to be taken for the state of Meghalaya also, to ensure that more protection can be given to our people. And there are many ways in which government can do that, and we will urge the Honorable Home Minister and the Government of India as a whole that the way they have listened and taken our suggestions into consideration, which, as I said, was not there earlier but is there in this bill. I hope that this time also the Government of India will listen to our suggestions and recommendations to ensure that more stronger measures are put into place, to ensure that measures to counter influx and to also protect our people as a whole can be taken up. See, our government is made up of different political parties, and even every political party has their own stand and their own point, and I think we need to respect that. So I think there is no question of me having talking on behalf of other political parties. Each political party will have their own stand. This is something that has happened in many cases, whether you look at Maharashtra or even other states. There have been situations where coalitions have taken different stands on the different, on the different issues that have come up in front of the parliament. So I think we must respect the views of the coalition partners, and I think they have the right because they represent the people, But I think we are all on the same page when it goes to address the issue that we need to ensure that stronger mechanisms need to come in place, and that is really what our focus is on. And we will work together as a team, and we have decided, as I said, we will move together to meet the governor. We will move together to meet the Honorable Home Minister, and ensure that we can, press the Government of India to ensure that some measures and more measures, stricter measures, can come into our state also. There are hardly any applications of individuals who want citizenship who are from Bangladesh as we speak right now. Hardly. There may be 1, 2 or maximum 3 such individuals. So therefore the question of many people coming into the future does not even arise, because those applications will not be acceptable at all. So that issue was addressed by the Honorable Home Minister after we met him. And so therefore that addressed the issue, and that gave us a bit more confidence on the CAB, realizing that there will not be future impact of this. As I said, only the applications and the people who have applied before 2014 may be considered, and that also depends on the state government whether we approve or not. So the complete power lies with the state government. So therefore that was addressed. And the number 2 issue, where how Meghalaya state could be exempted and how we could be given more protection, was also discussed. And the Honorable Home Minister said in that meeting, and of course it came out in the bill also, that the scheduled areas, 6 scheduled areas in the state of Meghalaya will be exempted. So when we saw these kind of steps taken and these measures taken, we felt that the government has listened to our suggestions, has done at least some steps to protect us. We want more, and our MP was very clear that we want more protection must be given. But then what has been done is been appreciated, and that's the reason we took that stand. So one cannot call it a U-turn. These are things that happened. Progress took place, changes took place, amendments were made, insertions were done, protection was given, and based on that only decision was taken. But as I said, that every organization and political party will have their own stand, and we will see we will be able to ask them what their decision is. We will discuss with the Home Minister all the options that are there, and well, we are going to ask exemption for Meghalaya as a whole, which we just said. We are going to discuss all the options with him, because these are some things that are in the government of India's hand, something which is not in our hand directly. So it would not be appropriate for me to say how we will proceed, but we will definitely discuss all the options that are there. All. Governor has taken his decision in his wisdom. We respect the decision that he's taking and the assessment that he's making. I am not, I'm not here to comment on the working of the governor. That is his prerogative, and it's not my decision whether to recall the governor or not. That is a decision of the government of India and the Home Ministry. Is that the issue of CAB, which is there, the concerns that were there in CAB have been addressed to a large extent. I again repeat myself when I say the biggest fear in all the people's mind is that will Bangladeshi people, citizens, keep coming into our state? Are we going to be flooded by Bangladeshis in the future once the CAB is done? Absolutely not. So I think it must be made amply clear to the people that this was not an issue that was addressed earlier. It is after the intervention of the NPP and other political parties from the Northeast that Government of India decided to speak to everybody and look at all these concerns and actually address these concerns. So what I'm saying is, once these issues are addressed and our concerns are addressed, my point is, are we going to oppose for the sake of opposing, or are we going to actually look at the issues that are there in front of us and take a stand? Now I understand that this is a very emotional issue, and and the perception has to be corrected in this whole point. And I respect the emotions of the people. I respect the emotions of the general public and the organizations who are feeling, as you said, hurt about this whole thing. But I think it's important to also know the facts about what is happening. And I think, as I said, there has been a massive change in the way this has been presented. And so therefore, I think at this point in time, these facts need to be clarified. And we need to realize that the CAB, what it was earlier, is not the same that we have now. There's a massive change in it. There are many areas of protection that have been given, and we are still demanding for more protection for our people. So that's our stand, and will continue to be. Now, our concern in the organizations that are coming here, our organizations that are there, concerns are mainly to do with influx, actually. And so therefore, steps that can address certain issues of influx can be taken, that are not related to the CAB as such. So there are many measures, that are there, and we intend to speak about all those measures, to the state, to the central government, and we hope that the central government, like they give a positive response, will give a positive response for those concerns and those suggestions also. So there are many such provisions that are there, and many states have got different provisions that are there, and even the 6th schedule, there are many amendments that are being proposed. There are many points that have been mentioned by political parties, like the HSPDP had suggested one very valid point, which of course I don't want to speak about right now, because these are more matters that need to be discussed more in detail. But there are a lot of provisions in the 6th schedule itself which are there. There are other provisions that are there in other parts of the state, in other states, I'm sorry. There are provisions within our state which we have created, like the Meghalaya Residency Safety Act, how it can be given more teeth by the central government. These aspects can be discussed. So I think all these areas are there, and we will see how the response of the government is. But as I said, we're going to make a strong pitch to ensure that these issues are discussed and taken up. Number one, there are two points to this. Number one, that most of the areas in Meghalaya are exempted from this. Most, I should say. The number 2 point, which is very, very important to note and for the people to know in general also, is that the power lies with the state government eventually. Number 1, of course, the issue that the applications, there are no question of any new applications coming in. It will only be the applications that were there before 2014 that are going to be entertained. So that means that in Meghalaya, there may be 1 or 2 applications, as far as my record shows, that applications have come in. So there's no question of any future application coming, which automatically means that there is no other case in Meghalaya. So I think that should be a very important point that people should know. So there is no fear, no question of, as I said, of applications in Meghalaya state happening. Influx is a different issue, but I'm talking about the CAB per se, and under the CAB, which applications will be accepted. So that's number 1. So there's no applications coming in. Number 2 point, which is very important to also know, is that these applications, even if they come in, the state government will have to approve it. So therefore, this in itself is like an exemption, where if Meghalaya government does not process those applications, there is no question of it happening. There's no question of it moving forward. There's no question of government of India entertaining it. But yes, for our personal, people, I mean, from the perspective of the state, yes, we would still want government of India to ensure that they could find mechanisms through which Meghalaya state as a whole could be exempted. And that would give a very strong satisfaction to the people of our state and give assurance to our people of our state that we will be safe. So therefore, yes, we would still push for it, and let us see how Government of India responds to it. The CAB that was put up last year did not have the provisions and the aspects that are there now. We were not given a chance to express our concerns, which we were given a chance, and our concerns were addressed in it. My question is, is the word CAB which we're against, or is it the provisions in the CAB which we're against? So I think we need to get to the facts also. I understand, as I said, I repeat myself, I understand that yes, it's an emotional issue, and I respect all the concerns that people have raised. But I think it is important to also see the facts on what really will happen. Again, I'm repeating that people are emotional because they feel they will be flooded by Bangladeshis and Hindu Bangladeshis from Bangladesh. That issue has been addressed. It's not going to be the case. There's not going to be any single person coming in the future, because there is no scope for it. Because there's been a deadline of 2014 and there's no option and there's no case. My question to you is, when these issues are addressed, and these points have been put in and our concerns have been addressed, obviously we as political leaders and as people who look at the law will look at the situation in a different way. It's as simple as that. And I think that's what we have done. We have ensured that our concerns have been addressed. So once our concerns are addressed, my only question is, will I as a person oppose for the sake of opposing, or will I look at the facts and say, yes, I had these issues and I had these concerns, and a lot of those issues have been addressed. I think I would urge our citizens and the people who are, are hurt and are concerned about these issues, and yes, emotional about these issues, which, as I said, again, I say respect. I would urge them that please go into the facts, and you will see that things are very different from what they were last year, when we had, put up very strong opposition, and Government of India has really gone a long way in considering all those areas of concern and taken steps to ensure they are addressed. So therefore, people have the right to say, have the right to express their concerns about this issue, but I would urge them to please go into the facts. And I'm sure once they see the facts and they go into the details, they will realize that yes, there has been a lot of change in this, and it does require us to reconsider how we approach the aspect. And at the same time, I'm not, we're not going to stop right here. We're going to continue, as I said, working with Government of India and demanding that the measures that we have proposed and other measures that are there, should also be brought into Meghalaya, so that Meghalaya can also get more protection. So we continue our struggle, we continue our thing, but at the same time, we realize that a lot of changes have taken place. And I would urge the the people who are doing this, they are all our people only. They are all our citizens, and the damage that is being done is again being done to our people only, to our citizens only. So really, it is our people who are at loss. We are not achieving anything by doing into this. Number one, by going into this kind of behavior and going this kind of vandalism is not getting us anywhere. The people are suffering. So I would urge everybody that not to resort to this kind of violence. And on top of that, the government, obviously, the departments will take action against the concerned people based on the laws that are there already prevailing. It's not something that is new. These are laws that have been set, and people are aware about those laws. So based on those laws, only there's action will be taken. But I appeal to everybody not to take violence, as I said, and to really go into the practical side and see the practical side of the entire CAB and realize that the changes that have taken place, and continue to work with us, the government. And we have been working very closely with organizations, very closely with political parties to ensure that Meghalaya gets maximum protection when it comes to issues like this. So I think we've been always working with organizations, and I again appeal to all the organizations that has worked together and to avoid these kind of situations where nobody but the public suffers and the economy of the state suffers. It's Christmas time. A lot of people are here for Christmas, and all their celebration moods will be affected. So I urge people to consider all these aspects before they take any further resort to any other violence. Government of Meghalaya, the way we're looking at this is that we are going to approach Government of India and work on all measures that are there as possible, discuss with them what are the possibilities, and urge Government of India to take steps in different lines to ensure that Meghalaya gets more and more protection when it comes to issues that are related to the floods. But I think the important part is that we all agree that whatever the case may be, we need to work together to find solutions. And this is what basically was discussed in this cabinet meeting, and the cabinet colleagues have expressed their concerns, and we have worked out a strategy on how we should move forward, and we will unitedly work together to ensure that the concerns of the people of the state are addressed. So this is what it is. Thank you very much.